Data mining, complex methods of retrieving and using information from immense and varied sources of data through the use of advanced statistical tools. Declarative, sentence, a sentence that asserts that a particular situation exists. See interrogative. Declension, a list of the inflections or cases of nouns, pronouns, adjectives, and determiners in categories such as grammatical relationship, number, and gender. Deep structure, see destructure. Definite, describes a noun phrase that refers to a particular object known to the speaker and listener. Deictic/deixis refers to words or expressions whose reference relies on context and the orientation of the speaker in space and time, example, yesterday, there, this cat. Understanding the meaning of certain words, phrases, people, places, and time. Demonstrative articles, this/that, words such as this, that, those, and these that function syntactically as articles but are semantically deictic because context is needed to determine the referent of the noun phrase in which they occur. Demonstrative verbs, this, that, these. Denotative meaning, the referential meaning of a word or expression. See connotative meaning. Dental, a place of articulation term for consonants articulated with the tongue against, or nearly against, the front teeth. See interdental. Derivation, the steps in the application of rules to an underlying form that results in a surface representation, example, in deriving a syntactic S structure from a D structure, or in deriving a phonetic form from a phonemic form. Derivational morpheme/affix, a morpheme added to a stem or root to form a new stem or word. Possibly, but not necessarily, resulting in a change in syntactic category, example, added to a verb like kick to give the noun kicker. E.g. Buddha, Buddhist, Buddhism. Derived structure, any structure resulting from the application of transformational rules. Derived word, the new word created by a derivational morpheme, the form that results from the addition of a derivational morpheme, example, firmly from firm plus ly. Descriptive grammar, a linguist's description or model of the mental grammar, including the units, structures, and rules. An explicit statement of what speakers know about their language. See prescriptive grammar, teaching grammar. Determiner, det, the syntactic category, also functional category, of words and expressions, which when combined with a noun form a noun phrase. Includes the articles the, an and a, demonstratives such as this and that, quantifiers such as each and every, etc. Diacritics, additional markings on written symbols to specify various phonetic properties, such as length, tone, stress, nasalization, extra marks on a written character that change its usual value, example, the tilde drawn over the letter N in Spanish to represent a palatalized nasal rather than an alveolar nasal. Diagnostic profiling, aka linking, a teacher looks for certain linking patterns that influence pronunciation. This area is central to fluency in speaking a second language correctly for ELL students. The steps are linking, reduction, and sound transformation. Geograph, two consonants which represent a sound, i.e., sh, th, etc. The sh in ship is an example of a geograph. Dialect, a variety of a language whose grammar differs in systematic ways from other varieties. Differences may be lexical, phonological, syntactic, and semantic. See regional dialect, social dialect, prestige dialect. Dialect is a group of attributes, semantic, morphological, phonological, syntactic, and phonetic, that make one group of people speak noticeably different from another group even though they are speaking the same language, for instance, English. Dialect area, a geographic area defined by the predominant use of a particular language variety, or a particular characteristic of a language variety, example, an area where bucket is used rather than pail. See dialect, dialect atlas, isogloss. Dialect Atlas, a book of dialect maps showing the areas where specific dialectal characteristics occur in the speech of the region. Dialect Continuum, a geographic range of slightly varying dialects occurring between two distinctly different dialects spoken in different regions of a language area. Dialect Leveling, greater uniformity of a language. Movement toward greater uniformity or Decrease in variations among dialects. Dialect map, a map showing the areas where specific dialectal characteristics occur in the speech of the region. The different areas of the United States, New England, Midwest, South, etc., is an example. Dialectal variation. It is important to remember when studying the three major classifications of studying dialects: class, geography, and prestige, that all three areas are intermingled and overlap each other. People may speak the same to an extent but may speak differently to a point due to their prestige, class distinction, age, and gender. Dialectic approach. Readers have to position themselves as participants in making meaning together with the text and its authors, rather than remaining as passive readers to the reading process. Dichotic listening experimental methods for brain research in which subjects hear different auditory signals in the left and right ears. Geograph, two letters used to represent a single sound. Example, GH represents F, in enough. Diphthong, a sequence of two vowels run together as a single phonological unit. Example, a, oi, as in bite, bout, boy. Also known as monophthong. Direct object, the grammatical relation of a noun phrase when it appears immediately below the verb phrase, VP, and next to the verb in deep structure. The noun phrase complement of a transitive verb. Example, the puppy and the boy found the puppy. Discontinuous morpheme, a morpheme with multiple parts that occur in more than one place in a word or sentence. Example, ge and t in German Geliet, loved. See circumfix. Discourse, written and spoken communication. A marker, word or phrase, that does not change the meaning. A linguistic unit that comprises more than one sentence. Discourse analysis, the study of broad speech units of multiple units and sentences. Discourse management refers to the ability to produce conversations and other extended written and spoken texts. Teachers use many different devices to produce effective discourse. Things like free conversation, role play, and presentations that are not explicit are ways to develop discourse management. Discreteness, a fundamental property of human language in which larger linguistic units are perceived to be composed of smaller linguistic units. Example, cat is perceived as the phoneme /k//ae//t/. The cat is perceived as the ncat. Dissimilation rules, phonological rules that change feature values of segments to make them less similar. Example, a fricative dissimilation rule /theta/ is pronounced t, following another fricative. In English dialects with this rule, sixth/6 plus theta/ is pronounced sixth. Distinctive describes linguistic elements that contrast. Example, f and v are distinctive segments. Voice is a distinctive phonetic feature of consonants. Distinctive features, phonetic properties of phonemes that account for their ability to contrast. Meanings of words. Example, voice, tense. Also called phonemic features. Ditransitive verb, a verb that appears to take two noun phrase objects. Example, give. In he gave Sally his cat.